Hello everyone, welcome back all of you, and in this session we are going to have discussion on higher order linear differential equations. So in the case of ordinary differential equation, this was the standard form we were talking about in the previous sessions also. So it is nothing but dny upon dx power n plus k1 dn minus 1 y upon dx power n minus 1 all the way till kn minus 1 dy by dx plus kny is equal to capital X. So in the previous case, in the first order linear differential equations, we had the value of n is equal to 1 and the power of the highest order is also going to be 1. So n equal to 1 means first order and linear means the degree is going to be 1. So we had the discussion on this type of problems dy by dx terms only. So differentiation of y with respect to x only once, and also the power of this particular highest order is also going to be 1 only over there. So in that case we had the discussion on 5 methods. The first one was inspection method, then exact form, exact reducible form, and then we talked about variable separable, and then finally standard form, or if it is not in standard form we tried reducing that into standard form also. So those 5 methods we had discussed in the case of ODE, first order linear differential equation. So in this session we are going to talk about higher order linear differential equation. So higher order means the value of n is going to be greater than 1. So we are going to have the terms as d2y by dx2 or d3y by dx3. But again we are going to talk about linear only. So the power of the highest order, if it is second order, so the power of d2y by dx2 is going to be 1 only. If it is third order, the power of d3y by dx3 is also going to be 1 only. So again we are going to talk about only linear one, only d2y by dx2, d3y by dx3 or d4y by dx4 terms like that we are going to get in this one. And also the constants k1, k2, kn minus 1, kn all are going to be the constant coefficients. So if they are not in the constant coefficients form, for that we are going to discuss separate method, but as of now we have to keep in mind that these constants are coefficients are constant. So this is going to be with constant coefficient. So in this equation, if we put d by dx is equal to capital D, so this is nothing but dny plus k1 d power n minus 1 y plus k2 d power n minus 2 y plus kn minus 1 dy plus kn y is equal to capital X. So what I have done, d by dx I have put it as d by dx I have put it as capital D. So d n y, and if we are taking y out of this particular equation, we are going to get d power n plus k1 d power n minus 1 plus k2 d power n minus 2 up to kn minus 1 d plus kn, and y terms I have taken out. So this is nothing but we are considering it as function of d. So f of d I have mentioned as into y is equal to capital X. So this general form we are going to encounter in this particular manner while solving the problems further. So if the f of d into y is equal to 0, this capital X, if it is 0, we are going to call it as homogeneous linear differential equation. And if this particular capital X is the function of small x, so this capital X, if it is function of small x instead of 0, so we are going to call it as non-homogeneous linear differential equation. So first we'll have the look of the how to solve homogeneous linear differential equation, and in the upcoming session we'll try to understand the methods that how we are going to get the solution for non-homogeneous linear differential equations. So for now let us have the list of formulas for homogeneous linear differential equations. And now let us understand that how we are going to write the solution of homogeneous linear differential equations. So in the case of homogeneous linear differential equation, we are going to have the equation as f of d into y is equal to 0, where f of d is nothing but d power n k1 d power n minus 1 plus kn minus 1 d plus kn. And this particular equation we also call it as auxiliary equation. And to write the solution of this particular expression f of d into y is equal to 0, we must have the idea about the roots of auxiliary equation. And in this auxiliary equation, this d we have already discussed that d is nothing but d by dx. So to write the solution of our homogeneous linear differential equation, first we have to put d by dx as capital D, and then that particular equation f of d, it is auxiliary equation, so we have to focus on the roots of that auxiliary differential equation, and based on those roots we are going to write the general solution directly. So if we have the expression nothing but dy is equal to 0, so this f of d is d. The auxiliary equation is nothing but d. So the general solution for that we'll have to write as y is equal to c. And if our auxiliary equation is nothing but d minus a is equal to 0, because f of d is equal to 0, that is going to be our auxiliary equation. So d minus a is equal to 0. So roots of our auxiliary equation is d is equal to a. So the solution will be c e power ax. If the root is a, e power ax. In this case, d plus b is equal to 0. So root will be d is equal to minus b. So the solution will be e power minus bx. And if we have more than one root of our auxiliary equation, f of d is equal to d minus a into d minus b is equal to 0. So the roots of our auxiliary equation will be a and b. So solution will be c1 e power x and c2 e power bx. So we are having real roots. And also keep in mind the number of terms, the c1 and c2 are nothing but known as arbitrary constant. So the number of arbitrary constant is going to be the number of the order of differential equation, because this is nothing but order of 2 d2. So the number of arbitrary constant we are going to get as 2, c1 and c2. And in the further cases, if we have higher orders, the number of constant will be the equation, the order of the equation. So in the next case, if we have roots as d minus a into d minus b is equal to into y is equal to 0. So you can see the equation is same, but in this case we had the real roots. Real roots means a and b are real numbers. So in that case we can just simply write the solution as c1 e power x and c2 e power bx. But in this case, if the roots are complex, means a and b are not real numbers, they are complex. A is equal to alpha plus iota beta and b is equal to alpha minus iota beta. So in that case we are going to write the solution as the real part will be in the same format like we used to write in the previous these cases, e power x and e power bx. So we'll write as e power alpha x. But this imaginary part in the complex roots are going to come in the solution as in terms of cos beta and sin beta. So k1 cos beta x plus k2 sin beta x. So you have to be very careful whether the roots are real or the roots are complex. So in the next case, if the roots are irrational, so in that case again the type of expression is same only, d minus a into d minus b into y is equal to 0. So the auxiliary equation f of d is equal to d minus a into d minus b is equal to 0. And again the roots are a and b only, but the roots a and b are not real and not complex also. Instead they are irrational roots. So alpha plus minus root beta. In the case of complex roots we have iota terms here. In the case of irrational roots we have root over beta terms over here. So the alpha thing again it is going to come in the same format, e power alpha x, but the root beta thing here it was coming in the case of like in the form of trigonometric function. Here it will come as hyperbolic function. So k1 k cos hyperbolic root over beta x plus k2 sin hyperbolic root over beta x. So we have to be very careful whether our roots are real or complex or irrational. So in the case of real roots we are going to get the exponential solution. In the case of complex roots we are going to get the trigonometric functions, and in the case of irrational roots we are going to get the hyperbolic function. So this is the basic format, we have to be very careful. And now let us discuss few more formulas, because in this case we have talked about the single roots sorry. So here we are going to talk about the repeated rules. So again we are going to talk about all three roots, real, complex and irrational. But now if the real roots let us say a and b, but they are repeated, or say only one real root is there, a, but it is repeated. Repeated means a and a. So d minus a whole square y is equal to 0, we are going to get the equation as. So in that case we are going to write the solution as c1 plus c2x e power ax. So the roots are a and a. In the previous case, if the root is only a, c1 a power x e power ax, and if the roots are a and a, we are going to write as c1 plus c2x e power ax. And if the three roots are there, we will have to write up to e power x square, c1 plus c2x plus c3x square and e power x, because real roots we are going to get the exponential terms only. And if the roots are like there are 5 roots, roots are a and b, minus b. So a and a, 2 roots are there, and minus b, minus b, minus b, 3 repeated roots are there. So we are going to write for a c1 plus c2x e power x, and for minus b, e power minus bx will be there, but as 3 roots are there repeated, so c3 plus c4x plus c5 x square we will have to write. So this is the case of real roots only, but the roots are repeated in nature. Repeated means instead of having only one real root, we have one root multiple times, a and a minus b minus b minus b, something like this. And now in the second case, again the roots are complex, but they are repeated. How they are repeated? Like a and b, a is nothing but alpha plus iota beta, and b is nothing but alpha minus iota beta. But instead of only once, they are repeated like alpha plus iota beta, and then alpha minus iota beta, something like this. And also keep in mind the complex roots are going to be in even only, because complex roots are pairing with each other. So if alpha plus iota beta is there, so alpha minus iota beta will also be there for sure. So we are going to get the two repeated roots 4 or 6 only, not 3 and 5, not like that. So in this situation we have roots as a and b, alpha plus minus iota beta, and two times they are repeated. So again for alpha, as I said, the real part we are going to get the exponential term e power alpha x, and for the imaginary part we used to write cos beta x and sin beta x, but as they are repeated we are going to have the term as c1 plus c2x, then we will write cos beta x, and then c3 plus c4x, then we will write sin beta x. And if they are like repeated 4 times, we will have to write c1 plus c2x plus c3x square plus c4 x power 3, and then cos beta x, and then c3 c1 c2 c3 c4 we have written, so we will write c5 plus c6x plus c7 x square plus c8 x cube, and then sin beta x. So in the case of complex roots we are going to get the trigonometric function, but if the roots are repeated we are going to get these terms like c1 plus c2x. This multiplication will be there. And then again we had the discussion on the irrational roots, but again they are repeated in nature. So alpha plus minus root over beta, so multiple times we are going to have them. So if they are repeated two times, so again these terms only, these constants are going to be different, nothing else is going to be different. The format is same only, right? E power alpha x k1 cos hyperbolic root over beta x plus k2 sin hyperbolic root over beta x. So see, this constant only c1 plus c2x and c3 plus c4x, if they are repeated two times, up to x will be there. If they are repeated 4 times, c1 plus c2x plus c3x square plus c4x cube will be there, and cos hyperbolic root over beta x, and then again c5 plus c6x plus c7x square plus c8x cube sin hyperbolic root over beta x will be there. So these list of formulas you should have in your mind to write the solution for any kind of auxiliary equation. And let us take one example where we are going to get the mixing of all these roots. So let us say we have real roots and complex roots together. So we have our auxiliary equation f of d is equal to 0, right? So I am taking repeated real roots as a and a. So we are going to get the term as d minus a whole square. And then now I will take complex roots like alpha plus minus iota beta. So d minus b and d minus c. So b is alpha plus iota beta, c is alpha minus iota beta. And now I will take one real only, but it is not repeated. So I will take a, b, c, d I will take. This is real root and it's not repeated. So d minus d is equal to 0. This is nothing but our auxiliary equation. And now how we are going to write the solution? First we will have to write for this particular term d minus a square. So repeated real roots. See, it's here c1 plus c2x, c1 plus c2x, and our root is nothing but a. So e power ax. In the case of real root, exponential term. And now b and c are complex roots, but they are not repeated. So we'll have to write only e power alpha x c3 cos beta x plus c4 sin beta x. And if they are repeated, we'll write c3 plus c4x cos beta x plus c5 plus c6 sin beta x, but they are not repeated. So we'll have to write the solution for complex roots. And now this d is equal to, the root is small d, so but it is not repeated but real root, so we are going to get the exponential term. So c5 e power dx. So this is as simple as that. We have to keep in mind the individual formulas, and if we are getting the combinations of any of them, we can write the solution directly. And instead of this, if we are having like repeated real roots a and complex, instead of complex we have rational roots. Now alpha plus minus root over beta, and again one more real root is there, but it is not repeated. So the change is going to be only this will become as cos hyperbolic root over beta x, and this sin hyperbolic root over beta x, and all the things are going to be same only. So that's how we have to make use of list of formulas. And so that is all for this particular session. And to make our concept little compact one, we'll have the discussion on the problems in the next session. To avoid the longer session, I am terminating the session here itself. So if you have any doubt, you are free to ask in the comment section.